You know that feeling? You move into a new place, you're excited to use the gym or the pool, and then, bam, you find out you have to pay an extra fee, a fee the owner doesn't even have to pay. It's a super common frustration, and today we're going to break down if it's actually fair or foul.
So let's set the scene, right? You've signed the lease, you're ready to start your new life there, maybe hit the gym, but then you get hit with this surprise charge. It's a special fee, just for tenants, while the property owners are paying less for the exact same thing. I mean, it feels totally unfair, but the real question is it even legal?
All right, let's not beat around the bush. Let's get straight to the bottom line. What does the law actually have to say about this whole charging tenants extra thing? You might be surprised by how clear the answer is.
And the answer is a pretty straightforward no. In most cases, it is not okay to charge tenants a higher fee for facilities that are already covered by maintenance. And the why behind this is actually fascinating. It all comes down to what a lease really means in the eyes of the law.
It all boils down to this key legal concept called the leasehold right. Now that might sound complicated, but the idea is simple. When you sign a lease, you are legally stepping into the owner's shoes. The owner is basically transferring their entire right to enjoy that property over to you for a while. And that includes access to everything: the pool, the gym, the park. These aren't just perks, they're part of the deal.
This quote just nails it. A lease isn't just about giving you a roof over your head. It's about giving you the full experience that an owner would have. Access to the gym, the pool, you name it. These aren't some optional extras. They are part of the bundle of rights that you, the tenant, legally get when you sign on the dotted line.
And you know, this isn't just some stuffy legal argument. There's a really powerful economic angle to this too. And it boils down to something we can all understand. You're essentially being forced to pay for the exact same thing twice.
Yep, there's actually a name for this: economic double charging. And that really is the core injustice here. It's not just a feeling that you're being treated unfairly. We can literally follow the money and see how it happens.
Okay, so check this out. Let's follow the money. Step 1. Your landlord, the owner, pays monthly maintenance fees. Those fees are what fund all the amenities. Step 2. You pay rent to your landlord. And guess what's baked into that rent price? The landlord's costs, including those maintenance fees. So boom, right there in your rent, you've already paid your share for the amenities. But then comes step 3. The society turns around and slaps another fee on top of that just for you. So what's the end result? You are paying twice. It's that simple.
So, if the legal and economic arguments are so clear, why on earth do so many housing societies still do this? Well, let's take a look at the common excuses they give and see how they really stack up when you put them under a microscope.
This is where the excuses really start to fall apart. So they'll say there's a higher administrative burden. The legal reality? Sure, maybe that justifies a small one-time fee for paperwork, but it in no way justifies a recurring monthly charge. Then there's the whole owners are members, tenants are just users argument. The law sees that as a meaningless distinction, especially since the owner can't even use the facilities while you're living there. And the excuse that it deters renting, that's called out for what it is, an illegal attempt to discriminate with fees.
Now, does this mean a society can never charge a tenant anything extra? Well, not exactly. The key here is to understand the line between a totally legitimate cost-based charge and one that's just plain discriminatory.
So what's the difference between a fair fee and an illegal one? Let's break it down. On the left, you've got stuff that's probably okay: a reasonable one-time registration fee or a refundable deposit for an access card. See how those cover actual specific costs? But on the right, that's where you find the problems. Those recurring monthly premiums, charging you more because you're a non-member, or huge price differences with no good reason. The bottom line is, it's about cost recovery versus punishing someone just for being a tenant.
And get this, in some places, the law is even more specific about it. Take the state of Maharashtra in India, for example. The law there says the society can only charge a non-occupancy charge on a rented unit, and it's legally capped at just 10% of the regular service fees. That's it. This shows a really clear legal trend toward putting strict limits on these kinds of extra charges.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, the analysis gives a pretty clear roadmap for everyone involved: societies, landlords, and tenants, to make sure things are done fairly and legally. For the housing societies themselves, the path forward is clear. It's time to be proactive. They really need to audit their fee structures, switch to one price for everybody, and keep any extra charges to legitimate one-time costs. Honestly, transparency and getting a lawyer to look over the rules is the best way to keep things fair and stay out of trouble. And listen, residents have power here too.
If you're a tenant, document every charge, ask for a written reason from management, and think about teaming up with your neighbors. And landlords, you have a huge role to play by pushing for fair policies in the society meetings and just being crystal clear about all charges in the lease right from the start.
At the end of the day, this conversation is about so much more than just fee structures and legal memos. It's really about the kind of community we all want to live in. Is it a place that creates these weird divisions between neighbors based on who owns and who rents? Or is it a place that understands that everyone who lives there is a resident, and every resident deserves equal access and fair treatment? That's the real question we should all be asking.